Won't be able to comment on the depth until we get past all of it, until through Tuesday. But just the quality that we've seen so far, the offensive linemen that we've had come in the meeting room, the handful of receivers we've come in, have had come in, the running backs, not just obviously great players on the field, but the way that these young men carry themselves, to me, has been very refreshing.
How high a priority is running back for you? And are you a believer you can get it back in lower rounds?
Again, we're all going to be about taking the best player available at that spot. If it happens to be a running back, it's a running back. I think that unless you have that marquee, it's hard to be that three-down back anymore in the NFL. I think you have to take most of the successful teams have a committee approach. So I think you need to have depth there, giving the pounding that position will take. And we're going to make a commitment to run the football, and obviously that position is a priority to us.
Mike, obviously a lot of the focus when you talk about the quarterbacks, the big three, but there are a lot of other guys here, some lesser-known names as well. Are you of the belief maybe you could get some value later in the draft with one of those guys from maybe a smaller school?
Yeah, I would agree with that. That you would have with the number of picks that we have, and if things don't work out where we get the quarterback early, or like I said, all options are on the table. We're not locked in to saying we have to take a quarterback early in the draft. And you look at the Final Four in the NFL last year. You had a 6th-round pick, which is an absolute anomaly in Brady, the first pick in the draft in Peyton Manning, and then you saw that the Niners and the Seahawks did it going another way. I mean, I think there's a lot of different ways to win in this league.
Another story out here is that Jarvis Bird wants to follow you to Cleveland. Comments about Bird?
Bird, that he's unfortunately, it's a cliche. He's under contract on another team. I really can't comment on that.
He's not.
Had a great time with him in Buffalo. He's an outstanding player.
Do you feel Gibson can move to strong safety if you choose to shuffle?
We don't talk in our guys as in terms of free and strong. That our safeties are interchangeable. I think that's key to our success, is having guys that have the interchangeable skill set. They can do both. Teams can force you, the safeties, to change jobs anyway by some of the things they can do pre-snap. So we want guys that can do a little bit of both.
Do you see him as being able to do both, Gibson?
Yeah, in studying him so far in the offseason, he's a solid player.
If you can't bring back TJ or Alex or both, what does that do to your roster?
Again, those are ongoing situations, and I'm not going to comment on our potential UFAs.
Last year, you guys set a franchise record for sacks, and the league was way up in sacks. How do some of these offensive tackles learn to combat with these skilled, big, edge rushers? And do those guys need to be better athletes as tackles and guards?
Well, they're always going to be going against better athletes. I mean, that's just the nature of those positions. So I think you have to help them structurally. I think your scheme has to help them. I think you have to have some interference in that C area, that C gap area, that area outside. I think anytime you're giving up open edges, especially when you're on the road, when there's crowd noise, I think that's very difficult for an offensive lineman to have to be able to go backwards and defend a guy that's coming full speed, who's faster than him in most cases, coming out in the other direction. So I think you have to help those guys. I think you have to mix your snap count, and I think you have to, whether it's chipping a guy or a double team or turn into protection or occasional cut block. I think you have to have a variety of tools. I don't think you can give a steady diet of an open edge. I think only the special tackles in the league can handle that.
After evaluating your roster for a month, what do you think are the biggest news?
Everybody talks about the quarterback spot is the obvious one, but we have some good players here, and I still think we're right at the tail end of the evaluation part of it. There are some open spots. That's the reason we're here. That we're looking for guys to be the next batch of Cleveland Browns. We want to make that mean something. Being a Cleveland Brown is special. We're looking for those guys that we talked about.
You think
play like a Brown? The toughness part of it, competitiveness, passionate. They love football. They're instinctive. They're gym rats. I mean, those are the types of guys that we're looking to fill those holes.
you think you need more speed, especially on defense?
To me, it is a size and speed league for sure, and I think given the nature of spread offenses, I don't think you can be. I've always been one. I'd rather have smaller guys that are faster as opposed to sometimes the best place where that shows up is usually with your linebacker core. You look for guys that can be run and hit guys that can go sideline to sideline. But I think that you can. That we've proven too that you can win with any type. But I think given the nature of offenses and what's coming from college, the evolution of the spread is I think you need to emphasize speed over size.
How does the offensive line, as it's set now?
With Barkevius Mingo, after watching the film of him, is outside linebacker, is that his best position? And do you have some ideas on how to best utilize him?
Yeah, I mean, he was going to be very highly rated in Buffalo, and he'll definitely be one of our outside linebackers. The obvious question that's come up with him is his size and the ability to put weight on, and that's something that's going to be a priority for us. I had some communication with Alex Mack when he was in Brazil, and I know that Mingo's down there, so the PS on my email said make sure he's getting enough to eat. So I think that's something that will definitely be a priority that we'll sit down and make sure that it's not bad weight. We do it the right way, but he has freakish ability, and I think if we can, and I think putting on weight, I think that's one of the easiest things to do. It's harder to get more explosive. It's harder to get more athletic, but I think adding muscle mass. I think that's one of the easier things to do when you approach it the right way. So we're looking forward to getting him back on campus and attacking that head on.
Speaking of that.